Hey guys, CoffinSkate here with another game collection update. This is game collection update number 6, I want to say. And, yeah, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's just get right into it. Start off with all the video game stuff, and I also have, like, other video game related stuff. So, that's not necessarily video games, just like merchandise and shit. So, starting off. A game for a platform I don't own. Near Replicant, version 1.22474487139 for the Xbox One. Now I already have this on the PS4. However, I saw this for $20 at Best Buy. Figured why the hell not. So, absolutely love this game. This is one of my favorite games of last year. If you haven't played it yet, I would highly recommend this. If it weren't for the fact that this is more like a remaster, this probably would have been my game of the year. However, the more that time has gone on, I'm more considering this more as like a remake, but yeah, if you've not played this, I would highly recommend this. So, yeah, lots of platinum for the PS4 version. Speaking of games on the PS4, God of War. Yes, I did not own God of War 2018. So, I figured I'd pick this up. I got this for like $9-10, so I had this digitally. I actually got it for free, the digital version for free. A while back, I was watching a live stream and someone was dropping codes for random games and whatnot, and I saw the game that he gave away at one point was God of War. Figured why the hell not, might as well give it a go, and managed to snag God of War. So, I haven't played this a whole lot, but from what I have played of it, it's a really solid game. I did play this a little bit on the PS5, runs at locked 60 FPS, so looks really good too. Alright, next is a game for an anime that I got into a few months back, and I am shocked it took me this long to get into it. This is Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, for the PS5. And so I checked out Demon Slayer after, like, taking a trip to the mall, and, I was seeing all this awesome merch for it, and I was like, you know what, god damn it, I gotta watch this series. So I got home, I watched a few episodes, then the following day I watched a few more episodes, and then I went out and bought the game for the PS5, and then I also bought a poster, which I didn't grab, but needless to say, I fell in love with this anime. I loved this anime. I got into this anime way more than I thought I would. I absolutely love Demon Slayer. Currently, of any anime I've ever watched, I'd probably say Demon Slayer is my favorite. It's just, I love the characters, I love the premise, I think the story is really interesting. Soundtrack is very good, and it has absolute banger opening themes. So, as for the game itself, this game it plays very similarly to the Naruto Ninja Storm games made by the same developers. So if you've played those games, you're familiar with how they play. You'll feel right at home with this game. You don't really need to have watched or read the manga for Demon Slayer or watched the anime for Demon Slayer. But yeah, this is a really solid fighting game. Just an absolute shame that regular PS4 controllers do not work on PS5 games. It's like the one thing that's one of the main things that's annoyed me with the PS5. You cannot use DualShock 4s or any PS4 controller for that matter to play PS5 games. Really annoying considering that on Xbox you can use Xbox One controllers to play Series X games, but you know, what can you do? It's something that I hope they patch, especially in the way of fighting games, but that's a topic for another time. Anyways, yeah, this is a really solid game. Fairly easy to platinum as well. I ended up getting the platinum trophy for this. If you haven't played this yet and you're a fan of Demon Slayer or you like the Naruto Ninja Storm series, you will enjoy this. Also available on PS4, Xbox, PC, yada yada yada, Switch as well. Okay, next, Doom 3 BFG Edition. Picked this up because it's a version of Doom 3 and just a version of because this has Doom 3, the Resurrection of Evil expansions, a new expansion called The Lost Mission, and as well as Doom 1 and 2. So, it's another version of Doom 1 and 2 I didn't own, plus Doom 3, so I don't really plan on playing this version all too much outside of maybe platinuming Doom 3, but that's about it. So it's only a PS3 game I picked up this month, or the past like few months. So yeah. Now here's a game that brings some nostalgia, or that should bring some nostalgia for a lot of you who are familiar with the Imaginext toy line. Now, I'm not talking about the current version of Imaginext where I have like all the pre-built shit. No, I'm talking like you would get a big set of like walls and like stone walls to build castles and whatnot. You basically build your own play sets. It'd be like castles. You have there's even like a modern day set where you had a lot of like there was a fire station, a police station, and whatnot. They had pirate sets where you build like pirate ships and whatnot. Uh, and then there was also stuff like the caveman era or some shit. I don't know. There was a lot of different sets of different settings and whatnot for Imaginext. And they came out with two games. There was Imaginext Battle Castle right here, and Imaginext Pirate Raider, which um, I'll, I'll explain about these in a second. But I found this for like $10 on eBay. Actually, no, one of my siblings and I, we were talking about old PC games we liked playing. Like games we liked to play in like the computer lab at the elementary school, and then we got onto the topic of this game. Started remembering this game, and some of the other games we were thinking about were Jumpstart, Kid Pix, Math Blaster, some of the classics. Speaking of which, if anyone remembers, there's this one game I remember playing. It was like a bunch of math mini games put together, with like this jungle setting with talking animals and whatnot. I remember specifically there's this one that uh, involved like adding and subtracting money. And if you got a question right, there'd be like a little elephant character on the bottom left wearing a pink dress, and like sometimes it would dance to like this jazz music if you got a question right. If anyone remembers that game and knows what that game is, please let me know in the comment section below. It's been bothering me for like the past year or two. But anyways, so this game, Imaginext Battle Castle, this is like a mixture of different mini games. There's like to shoot cannons at another castle. There is like platforming segments. There is top-down like one-on-one fights and whatnot. This game is god-awful, but it's a game I'm very nostalgic about, and it's from an era of Imaginext that unfortunately I don't see ever coming back. So, and for the record, the Pirate Raider game is basically the same thing, but with a pirate skin. So yeah, it's just a little fun bit of nostalgia that I figured you guys would appreciate. Those of you who played with Imaginext in like the early 2000s, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I still have all my Imaginext stuff, well, most of it. So much like most of my Bionicles, most of my Bionicle pieces, I still have a lot of that shit. So, anyways, Deathloop. Picked this up for $15 from GameFly. This game, yeah, my dad was telling me this game was very good. I haven't played it a whole lot because I'm busy playing other games, but for $15, really couldn't complain. From what I have played of it, it's very similar to like Dishonored, so, and I like the Dishonored games. It's made by the same developers, so. Tormented Souls. Picked this up for $20 from Amazon. And this game, if you've never heard of this is a very classic, very old school style survival horror game that, it has limited resources, fixed camera angles. There's even an option to play this with tank controls, and has really bad voice acting. So, haven't played it a ton, but from what I played of it, it's definitely that classic survival horror feel. So, if you haven't played it yet and you like classic survival horror, this is worth checking out. Saints Row the Third remastered. Haven't sat down and played this a whole lot, but I did remember playing this during like a free-to-play weekend on Steam. This was quite fun. It's very much like a more like ridiculous, over the top, and stupid Grand Theft Auto. So this also has a next gen upgrade, by the way. So I'm playing the next gen upgrade, but I do know there is one thing that's kind of frustrating. I mean, it's also not a huge deal, but if you have PlayStation Plus Premium or Extra, and you have a game like Saints Row the Third that has a next gen upgrade, um, this game is also available on PlayStation Plus Premium. And if you have PlayStation Plus Premium, for whatever reason, you cannot claim the next gen upgrade to have permanently on your account if you decide not to. Uh, if you decide to cancel your subscription, you basically have no choice but to just get the versions on PlayStation Plus Premium. I ran into that with not Guilty Gear, Guardians of the Galaxy and Yakuza Like a Dragon. I want to say it was Mortal Kombat XL. So, um, but yeah, so that's kind of annoying. Not a huge deal because I plan on staying subscribed to PlayStation Plus, but still an annoyance. So, and just something worth pointing out. So. Okay. Next is Life is Strange True Colors, and I also later bought the PS4 version. I'll explain in a second. So, this I initially got for $25 from GameStop, brand new. And this was a game I was very interested in. However, for one, this was $60 at launch, and for this type of game, that's way too much money. I would say 40 at the most, but 60 is way too much for this type of game. Like Square, really, $60 for this type of game. Um, that aside, though, this game I actually loved it. I actually really enjoyed this. To get some of the things I did like about this game, I loved the characters, especially Alex. I thought she was very interesting. In my personal opinion, everyone else could probably think she's like the worst character ever. I don't fucking care. But yeah, I found her kind of relatable as well. But yeah, also I like the power in this game. How it was like, you could see what people are feeling and feel what they could or what they were feeling. It was very interesting and really had an interesting take on mental health and mental illness. It was very interesting. Um, the story itself isn't really that great, if I'm being honest. In some points, the writing could be much better. Um, and I did also feel that when it came to like exploring the town in this game, Haven, it's not really. It doesn't really feel like you get to see much of the town outside of just the one street that you get to explore. There's not really much you get to see outside of that. I mean, yeah, you get to go to some underground mine and like an abandoned mining area, something along those lines. I know minor spoilers, but this game's been out for a year now, so. But it's very interesting. I really enjoyed this game. Dare I say, I actually kind of enjoyed this more than the original Life is Strange, because the dialogue was not nearly as cringy in this game, and it had a lot more interesting characters, so I really enjoyed this. And for the record, this game has a frame rate option and a resolution option on PS5. I played in frame rate mode because, in the frame rate option because it's just a personal preference of mine, even though this is a game that doesn't really need, like, because of the type of game this game doesn't really have uh, any points where you need, like, to be really precise or anything, or really time your button presses or anything of the sort. Even though it's nothing like that, I still play this in frame rate mode, in the frame rate option, because I prefer frame rate over resolution. I'd rather play a game. I'd rather the game play more smoothly than look pretty. Like, I mean, I played this game in the resolution mode, and it looks really nice. Graphically, it looks gorgeous, but I take frame rate over resolution. That's just how I am. So, yeah, this is a this is a great version of the game. And so, why did I pick up the PS4 version? Simply because I liked the game that much, and also this game is a really easy platinum trophy like the other games. So, really enjoyed this game. And while we're talking about Life is Strange, I did also buy the remastered collection because it's on sale, and I do not recommend it. I do not recommend getting the remastered collection unless you're looking for an easy platinum trophy. There is so much wrong with the remaster of the first Life is Strange. I can't recommend it. It's god awful. It's the one of the worst remasters I've ever played. Characters don't look that great, honestly. I don't think they're as bad as people make them out to be. Um, um, it does run at locked 60 FPS on PS5. That much I will say. But uh, frame rate is no the so the game looks prettier, but the character models look terrible. They don't look that great. Sorry, they don't. They're not bad, but I don't think they're as bad as people make them out to be. But some characters just don't look that great. The game also, maybe it's just me, but the game looks a little fuzzier than it should. Um, it doesn't look all that great in terms of like the resolution, if that makes any sort of sense. Um, Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. And then there was just a ton of bugs and glitches. I had the game soft lock on me, where it was during uh, the it was it like episode 5, I want to say, where yeah, I want to say it was episode 5. You have to focus on the picture in the museum or the gallery. Um, I did that, but then the screen went white, and I was able to move and whatnot. I could hear my character, I could hear my character's footsteps and all that, but I wasn't able to progress. It was just stuck on this white screen, and I could move all over the place and all that shit. So, fortunately, it's just soft lock. All I needed to do is just reload from last checkpoint, but it, yeah, just I do not recommend this collection. Before the Storm is not nearly as bad as the first, as the remaster of the first game, um, but even that's not worth it. I would say, unless you are a hardcore Life is Strange fan, um, actually no, I wouldn't even recommend this if you're a hardcore Life is Strange fan. I'd really only recommend this if you are a trophy hunter, because this game, because both every Life is Strange game has a stupid easy platinum trophy, so if you're an achievement or trophy hunter, it's worth it for that. But otherwise, I would not recommend getting the remastered collection. Any other time I'll play through Life is Strange, I'll just go through. I'll just play the original version on the original release, or and same with Before the Storm. So, um, but yeah, I do not recommend the remastered collection. It is god awful. So, if that's the version that's being released on Switch, dog bless them. Dog bless Switch owners. I say that as a Switch owner. But anyways, Yakuza Remastered Collection. I actually got this in between getting both versions, Life is Strange, True Colors. Just figured to show both versions at the same time. Anyways, so this includes Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. I got this from VGP.com. It's a Canadian seller, but they ship over to the US. And the prices on there are they show the Canadian price, or the Canadian, yeah, they show the Canadian price. However, if you're from the US, you'll be paying in USD, so just something worth pointing out. But this is the first time I ever ordered from them, and I'll probably be ordering a lot more from them because they have some stupid good deals all the time. So, but yeah, I had to pick this up. I had this digitally, just wanted physical for it. So, and I want to get the day one edition, but I didn't. I don't know. It's hard to find that for a good deal right now. So, all right, next, Void Terrarium Plus Plus for the PS5. Pick this up for $20. Brand new. But yeah, it comes with a official soundtrack as well. So, never played it. Just figured I'd pick it up because a PS5 RPG, or at least I think it's an RPG. I don't know. I never played it, so but I figured why the hell not. I do like the art style though. DNF Duel. Picked this up because I remember going to a fighting game community meetup, and was watching my brother play this in a tournament. To my surprise, he actually ended up winning. He's actually really good at this game. Um, and I was watching him play, and I'm like, man, this game just looks like a lot of fun. So I haven't played this a ton, but it's a pretty fun fighting game. I picked it up for the PS4 because one, um, like I said, PS4 controllers now. You can use PS4 arcade sticks on the PS5 version and whatnot, but you cannot use regular PS4 controllers like DualShock 4s or anything to play PS5 games. So, and on top of that, the input delay is better with the PS4 version than it is on the PS5. So I picked it up. So, okay, next is Ghostwire Tokyo. Picked this up from Best Buy for $30, and it came with the steelbook because ordered it from Best Buy, so it came with the steelbook. But just put this here, the rest of my steelbooks. So so this game is very interesting. I haven't finished it. About like 15 hours, and I haven't played this in a while, but it is a very fun open world action game. It really reminds me of like a mixture of Shin Megami Tensei and Silent Hill, if that makes any sort of sense, with like some Evil Within in there. It's very interesting, very fun. Combat is a lot of fun. It has like a supernatural aspect to the combat. Graphically, it looks gorgeous. I've been playing this in the performance mode, or the ray tracing performance mode with VSync on. This game has actually the most graphics options I've seen for a console game. It's wild. But yeah, really fun. Uses the DualSense features really well. Like when it's raining, you can feel each individual raindrop through the DualSense controller, and then it uses the adaptive triggers pretty well. So, really fun game. Amazing art style. I love the enemy designs. I love the characters are interesting as well, except for the main character. He's not really that interesting, but from what I played, he just seems like some guy. Um, but yeah, really solid game. I would highly recommend this. So, again, I haven't played in a while, but I should definitely go back and play more of that. Alright, Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, Hacker's Memory. This is still sealed because I haven't played the first game, but shout out to my friend Running Toast Girl 77. Pointed out this game was on sale, so I had to snag it. Like I said, I haven't played it yet. Been looking to get the first Hacker's Memory, or the first Cyber Sleuth game before I hop into that. So, okay, next, picked up two games from Best Buy. Starting off with Castlevania Anniversary Collection. This is a limited run release. Picked this up not directly from my room. I picked this up from Best Buy. Hence the different box art. Really nice box art, but I prefer the original box art. You know, this, and unfortunately the disc was loose, and I was not going to try and do any tricks to put the disc back in its place, so I just had to open it up and fix that. So I had to pick this up. I like Castlevania. I never finished any of them outside of Judgment on the Wii, but I had to pick that up because it's Castlevania. Castlevania is a great series. So next, Subnautica Below Zero. I haven't played this yet. Still sealed, but I picked this up just $5. So, and I had the first Subnautica on PS5. So, all right, next, Evil Dead the game. Picked this up for $15. I want to say. I don't remember how much I paid for this. But I remember seeing some of the previews. This looks pretty fun. At the time, though, I've never watched the Evil Dead films, and during the month of October, I had watched all the Evil Dead films, even the remake, which I honestly think is fucking awesome. But yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of the Evil Dead series now. I love these films a fuck ton. Evil Dead 2 being my personal favorite, being easily a top 5 horror movie for me. It's so great. It's so corny, so over the top and ridiculous. I love Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. I have not started watching Ash vs Evil Dead though. That I will start watching probably this month. But I want to watch everything Evil Dead before I really start hopping into this. But well, yeah, based off the movies, this is I'm sure I'll probably have quite a bit of fun with this. And yeah, those movies were fantastic, especially Evil Dead 2. So I haven't really played this a whole lot, but I've heard kind of I've heard some mixed opinions on this. Actually, no, I haven't really looked into how people feel about the game, but I don't know. I'll give it a go at some point and see how I feel. And then Sims 4. Uh, this is okay. So this is the Sims 4 and the Island of Living expansion. This is $10 from Best Buy. Best Buy was having a sale was having a clearance sale, so I picked this up. I haven't really sat down and played it yet. I've heard Sims 4 is actually a really solid game though, but I don't know. It's hard to top Sims 2 for me. Anyways, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So this game, I picked this up brand new for $20 from GameStop because moments before I picked this up, I went to the theater with my siblings to watch Dragon Ball Superhero, and I'll admit I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan. However, that movie was so badass. That movie was awesome. I do think Super Broly was better, but Superhero was just a badass Dragon Ball movie. Um, that entire fight with I forget what the fuck it was called, but it was like some version of Cell. That fight was badass. Like, oh my god. That movie was awesome. It was all done up in 3D. Just, my god. If you've not watched Dragon Ball Superhero, whenever it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD, you need to watch it. It's so good. But I loved it, and because I loved it, I had to pick this game up. I haven't played it too much, but seems like a solid action RPG fighting game of some kind. Alright, next is Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Series for the PS5. Now, yes, this game did get a digital release, or this game did not get a physical over here in the U.S. However, there's an English physical copy in other places, like the UK or Europe, surprisingly, has a English physical copy. This is from I don't know, somewhere in Asia. This is an Asia English physical copy. And it also comes with digital code, which I used. I had to make a Malaysian account in order to use this. Yeah, I played this. I'm quite a ways through the first Klonoa, and that is really good. Like I can't not be happy playing this. This is like such a bright and cheery platformer that I can't be mad at playing. It's such a fun game, and the soundtrack slaps as well. So, but yeah, this is a English physical copy for the PS5, and the PS5 is region free, so you can pop this into your US console, and it'll work. So, absolutely, really fun game. I cannot recommend this enough. I've not finished first Klonoa yet, but I will have to do that soon. Alright, next is Castlevania Requiem Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. So this I got directly from Limited Run, and here's the little card that it comes with. I think there's another card for this game that is the Symphony of the Night box art, the good box art, I should say. And then, because I got it from Limited Run, this also came with a poster of the U.S. box art for Rondo of Blood. So, or was it? What's the name of this game here? Was it called Rondo of Blood here in the U.S.? I don't remember. Because I could be wrong, but the box art, or that box art in particular, I think is very similar to one for Dracula X. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, so I had to pick this up once again because it's Castlevania. I haven't played much of Symphony of the Night. I have this collection digitally, just one physical, so. But I'm sure they'll do a physical for the Advanced Collection. And that being said, on the Advanced Collection, I got like 4 hours into Aria of Sorrow. That game is awesome. I love that game. So, and it's funny because I always played it a little bit. Got up to the skeleton boss, so I always got my ass whipped too. And my younger self was so bad. My younger self was so bad at that game. I don't know why, um, but yeah, I always get up to like the skeleton boss and just I end up getting destroyed or getting my ass whooped. But I always liked the game as a kid, but actually having played quite a bit of it, it's awesome. So, um, okay, next, I did get Soul Hackers 2 for the PS5 when this came out because I pre-ordered it. And I decided to I passed up on the collector's edition because at the time it was oh yeah so yeah, I passed up on the collector's edition. Around when that was available for pre-order, I was trying to get a PS5, and I was more worried about getting a PS5 than getting that collector's edition. Even so, that collector's edition was $200. So yeah, so it comes with these character cards. So here's Ringo. Um, here's Fig, Arrow, Melody, and Saizo. So I am what like 30, 40 hours to this game. I haven't beaten it yet. Um, but from what I have played of it, it's a really solid game. I'm not I wouldn't say it's like my game of the year or anything, but from my play of it, it's a really solid RPG. I am enjoying it. This game does have a different system compared to like the press turn system. I think it's called from the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series, where instead it's this stacking system where when you exploit an enemy's weakness, uh, you get like the demons you have in your party get put into a stack, and after your party's turn, all the demons you have stacked will kind of come together for like a final attack to deal like tons of damage. And yeah, it's outside of that, it's your typical SMT affair. You know, exploit your enemy's weaknesses and all that shit. Um, but yeah, uh, yeah, really solid game when I played of it. The characters are really interesting. I love the character designs in this game as well, and the soundtrack is very good in my personal opinion. So, not too far into this, but it's a game I'd like to finish at some point soon. All right, I swear it's the last Castlevania game for the video, but Castlevania Judgment. So I had this game many years ago on the Wii, and I sold it because I had to sell games to get games. So I sold it, but then I saw this copy for $17. Had to pick it up. This game I'm very nostalgic about. You know, it's not a great Castlevania game, or not a great fighting game. It's a very wonky ass game. Little did I know this game was developed by Aiding, who, as you guys may know, or for those of you who don't know Aiding, they recently did DNF Duel. Yeah, the same people that made this game made DNF Duel, and they also made Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. If you did not know, so which may explain why this game is very wonky. So, I like this game. You know, it's not like a go-to fighting game for me, but I like it. So next is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection for the PS4. Once again, picked up the PS4 version instead because I don't have enough PS4 controllers to play this in multiplayer. So I don't have enough PS5 controllers to play four-player co-op on some of these games. So I just picked it up on I just picked up the PS4 version instead. And I haven't played this a ton, but it's a bunch of Ninja Turtles games, or quite a few beat 'em ups on here, like a few fighting games on here. It's mainly just like multiple versions of some games and whatnot. So figured why the hell not? Has a bunch of classic arcade games, and always down to pick up some arcade games. some arcade game collections. There's no way in hell I'll be able to get like actual arcade machines unless a arcade one up. But anyways, KY15, King Fighters 15. Picked this up because once again this game just looked fucking sick as hell, and yeah, that's why I picked it up. Haven't got around to really playing this whole. Well, actually, no. I've been playing this since last night. I've been playing this a fair bit. Because recently I kind of discovered how I really play fighting games, and that I play more with like a passive play style, I guess you could say. Kind of play like from a distance and whatnot. I didn't really analyze how I play fighting games till my brother brought it up the other night. So, because like I was at last week's fighting game meetup for the local fighting game community. I was playing some Samurai Showdown, and I was playing it with someone who is a big fan of Samurai Showdown. He's telling me I was actually not bad at it, and I was shocked by that because I'd never really played Samurai Showdown. So, but it was really shocking considering that I mainly come from playing 3D fighting games like Tekken and Soul Calibur. Dead or Alive, I forget it. I can't. Dead or Alive. I mean, in fairness with that game, that's a hard game to get into from what I've heard. But regardless, this is a really fun fighting game. You know, I'm not the greatest at it. I'm still learning, but it's really fun. Currently, my team is Halmaru, Iori. Those are like the first two characters on my team, and then don't know who I'll have as my anchor. However, my brother suggested Orochi Shermie, so. But, and I do have all the DLC for this as well, so. But nice thing is, because this is, with some of these games, like, with both of these, for instance, a lot of these games have next-gen upgrades, so I can, so eventually if they do add compatibility to play with PS4, or play PS5 games with PS4 controllers, I can just, then at that point I can just play the PS5 version. If the PS5 version is better, and especially in the way fighting games with like input delay and all that shit, but that's a topic for another time. So, but KY15, really fun game. Alright, next, Drakengard for PlayStation 2. Bought this off Mercari. I don't remember how much I paid for this, but but compared to how much this game goes for, I paid much less than how much this game typically goes for on eBay. Had to pick this up because I love the Nier games, and I've been wanting to check out other games from Yoko Taro, so had to pick this up. I played it a little bit. This is a weird ass game in terms of how it plays. It's very similar to Dynasty Warriors, just not as fun. So yeah. Alright, next, Bravely Default for 3DS. Now, kind of an interesting story with this one. So, it's around my brother's birthday, and my brother, he is a huge, die-hard Bravely Default fan. This is his favorite game of all time. And I was like, you know, I still need to pick up a copy of this game. And it's around my brother's birthday, so I was like, you know what? I found it the collector's edition for a decent price. I'll just get him the collector's edition for his birthday. So that's what I did. Got him the collector's edition, and I decided to hold on to the copy that came with it. And I asked my brother beforehand. He was totally cool with it as well because he already owns this game. He wasn't really. He's in the camp that where he just doesn't really need multiple copies of a game he already owns. So he was totally fine with it. So yeah, it was basically killed two birds with one stone. So I haven't really sat down and played this yet, but I've been really meaning to because I've been wanting to play Bravely Default for ages. So yeah, because I mean, classic style turn-based RPG for 3DS. Like, how can I go wrong? So, alright, next is Blue Reflection Second Light. Now, so this purchase was interesting. So I realized there are a fair bit of Koei Tecmo games for for PS4 have gone up in value or held their value. Um, and the original Blue Reflection, believe it or not, is like a $100 to $200 game. It's an expensive ass game. And I want to say, some forum, someone on some forums said that Koei Tecmo does not really like doing reprints of their games, and so it was kind of an instance where it was like, this game was like $20-$30. You know, I kind of had this moment where I was like, let me pick this up now before it gets really expensive. So kind of, kind of learned from Mystic. I was like, you know what? Let me just pick this game up right now before it becomes really expensive. So I haven't played it yet because I haven't played the first one. If I were to play the first one, I'd probably just end up buying it off PlayStation Store. So next, this I did an unboxing for the Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero, the limited edition for the PlayStation 4. I didn't really get around to playing this a whole lot because by the time this came out, it came out on a work day for me, and I only had like an hour or two to play this, so I haven't really played it since then. But it's definitely, I definitely want to sit down and play more of this because I love the Cold Steel games, and I really want to check out the other games in the Trail series. So, but it's so weird coming from the Cold Steel games to that, or to Trails, to the Trails from Zero, which is one of the Crossbell games, because it doesn't have stuff like the, from what I've played, I could be wrong, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't have stuff like the combat links, doesn't have the Brave Order system or anything. Um, yeah, so it's weird coming from the Cold Steel games to Trails from Zero. So yeah, having like 2D character sprites and shit, so yeah. Not saying it's bad, but one thing I will point out, the PS4 version, this is apparently a port of the Kai version that was released in Japan, which, from what I've heard, they don't really update the the textures or anything, or the character sprites to look HD. So they still look really pixelated on this version. So, um, so just worth pointing out. So in a second, PS5 went into rest mode. Just did not want that to happen. But anyways, Pac-Man World repack. Got this from GameFly for like $20. And this game had like just came out at the time. And so I picked this up because even though I've heard this is not like the best version of the game, I've heard really mixed opinions on this version. There we go. So I've heard mixed opinions on this version of the game, but I figured I hadn't really played the original, or hadn't played the original before, so I figured for my first time this wouldn't be a bad version to play. So feel free to roast me in the comments. I really don't care. So, you know what? Before I forget, figure I would show this. I got a right controller for the PS5. Figured I needed another controller, so for specifically to play multiplayer games. So I'm gonna buy 2 more of these at some point, but especially if Super Bomberman R2 has all the power-ups, or like the piercing bomb, remote bomb, and what's the other one? The power bomb. If all 3 of those are available in the game in Super Bomberman R2 in local multiplayer, if all 3 of those are available on all maps, as soon as I find that out, I'm pre-ordering that shit, because that was one of my issues with Bomberman R. It lacks those power-ups in the local battle mode, on all maps. I was that really frustrated me. It made no sense. It was like a downgrade because of that. Still a fun game, especially with like all the different outfits and shit that have, or all special characters are in it that have their own special abilities. But that was just annoying as fuck. So made me just want to go back and play Melon Bomber on Gary's mod. So, anyways, Bayonetta for the Switch, still sealed. Been meaning to. I don't really plan on playing the Switch version because I mean I already have this game on the PS4, but figured why the hell not. Chris, figured I'd pick that up for the Switch because apparently it was a limited release. So, right, next, Neo for PS4. Picked up for $6, I want to say. This game I didn't have, so I have it digitally through PlayStation Plus. So, really solid game if I played it. I only got like 10 hours into it though, but yeah. Chivalry 2. I played the original during one of those free play weekends on Steam. It's a multiplayer only game that is more melee focused. So, and takes place in the medieval. It has like a medieval setting. So, haven't really played this outside the tutorial, so don't have much to say on it. Okay, next is Nier Automata, the End of Yorha edition for the Nintendo Switch. This was a huge surprise, to say the least, in terms of like announcements during the Nintendo Directs. To see that this was like one of the first things announced really blew my mind, and yeah, I had to pre-order this. Also has a reversible cover. As you can tell, the game is not in the case because it's in my Switch right now. And so, had to pick this up, and I've only played like a couple hours of this version, but I gotta say, this is a fucking impressive as hell port. Like, I don't really get why people say that the Switch is like underpowered and what. And I mean, by PS5 and Series X standards, it is. But it's a handheld console hybrid that came out in 2017, and so it's really unfair to compare it to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So, but this is an impressive port. I mean, yeah, it's 720p docked, 1080p docked, or no, 1080p docked, 720p handheld, and 30 frames per second. Runs pretty well on the Switch, and on top of that, looks really good on the Switch. So, I don't know. It's also fucking annoying considering that this is on the Switch natively, and yet we don't have a native port of Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 and 0.2 kind of makes sense, but I kind of see that, but at the same time, also hard to believe, even with those, considering this game's on the Switch, as well as Doom Eternal and Doom 2016. And all of those run like a champ on the Switch, from what I remember. So, but great port of the game, has the DLC on there as well, and there's new free DLC that adds some outfits. So, yeah, haven't played it a ton, but really solid version of the game. So, and Nier Automata is just a game I always recommend if you haven't played it yet. So, Tales of Arise for the PS5, haven't played it yet. I was just $20 for the game. GameStop. Hades for the PS5. Had to pick this up because I got this on the PS4 as a Christmas gift, and I fucking fell in love with this game. I never finished a run. Should probably get around to that soon, but this game is really fun, and had to pick up a physical for PS5 when I saw it for a pretty good price. So yeah. Okay, next is actually before we get to this, actually no, I'll save that for last. So, Persona 5 for the PS5. Now, why did I pick this up for PS5 instead of the Switch? Well, simple answer, honestly, because I've planned this on PS4 and figured, you know what, might as well go for the PS5 Platinum. So, but I pre-ordered the Once More edition. The actual game itself shipped the day, or arrived the day it was released. However, the special edition content, or the special edition stuff, that's actually supposed to show up this month. So, hopefully that shows up soon. But this is also the Steelbook edition of the game. So, get a really nice Steelbook. There's the actual game itself. And then this is the artwork on the inside. So, And plus, I play my PS5 more than anything, honestly, so that's why I picked up this version. And also, I didn't have a Series X, so. But I will still pick this up on the series, or pick up the physical copy of this for Series X and the Switch because I love the game that much. This is my favorite turn-based RPG. So, but that being said, I'm about 10 plus hours into the PS5 version. Runs 60 FPS. The load times are even better than how they used to be on the PS4, and I don't really have much else to say about this version. It's basically the same game, but with all the DLC. Plays 60 FPS. Don't really know what else to say. So, but yeah, Persona 5 Royal. It's also available on Switch and Xbox. Obviously, if you guys must know that already, and also available on PC. So, I plan on getting all versions because I like Persona 5. All right, next, Dark Watch. Now, I got this from a local game store. It was like $30. I did not realize this had some stickers. This is a Blockbuster copy. I did not realize this had some stickers on the actual box art itself. Really annoyed by that, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get a. Unfortunately, it's hard to find just the cover on its own. So, but it is complete. The disc does have writing on it. Not a huge deal. I'm not really too worried about that. But I did play this a little bit. I did sample it. This is a badass first-person shooter. It has a really awesome art style. Published by Capcom in the West, or over here in the West, which really surprised me. A Capcom first-person shooter. So, haven't really played this a whole lot, but I love the art style. Premise sounds pretty interesting. So, yeah. All right. Lastly, it's a collector's edition for a game that I'm very happy to have. This is something that I did not think I'd be able to get. I remember when this was announced, there's only 10,000 of these made, and I was like, man, I would love to have that, but it's 2014, I was 15 at the time, so there's no way in hell I'd be able to get that. Well, my 15-year-old me is now screaming with excitement because I want to say it was like a week or two ago, I finally got the Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix Collector's Edition. I'm not gonna say how much I paid for this, but it was definitely not $200. It was less than that. So, but this is a collector's edition, and it doesn't really come with a whole lot of stuff. Well, it comes with some neat stuff, but not like, it doesn't come with the soundtrack CD or anything, but it comes with some neat stuff, and I was very happy to get this in the mail. So I'll do an unboxing of it. So, and it's not in the best condition, but yeah. So this is the box itself, side, other side, and then this on the back. So, and not in the best condition, but for the price I paid, I really couldn't complain. So, just open it up, and then right here, you have the pin. We'll take it right here. So I have the pin right there. And then, let's see here, right here is a Heartless plush, which I'm at least glad the original packaging was included, the original plastic. So, Heartless plush, really adorable actually. But yeah, Shadow Heartless plush. And then, so yeah, you get that. And right here you get the art book. And then this is the steel book, which this is on the back of the box art for Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. And inside you have Kingdom Hearts 2.5 right here. This is unique disc art. And then you also have 1.5 right here, which also has unique disc art. Also get manuals for both games. And then we take the discs out, without breaking them, of course. What the fuck? There we go. Take the discs out. Got the box arts for 1.5 and 2.5 right there. So, yeah, needless to say, this was something I was very happy to have. Yeah, like I said, my younger 15-year-old me is screaming with excitement right now because, you know, for one, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite game of all time, nostalgically speaking. Like I said, I might have mentioned in past videos, Nier Automata has dethroned it. Nier Automata and Persona 5 Royal have dethroned it for me, but to have this collector's edition really means a lot to me, and I didn't really get this for the monetary value or anything. I got this purely because Kingdom Hearts 2 is just a game that means a lot to me, so I'm very, very happy to have that. And might as well pivot to video game related stuff and show this, the Kingdom Hearts 2 Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. And decided to start buying the Kingdom Hearts strategy guides because I basically have all the games. I'm just missing some limited editions, but yeah. So the difference between this and the regular strategy guide is that for one you get like a slip cover of some kind with some different artwork. This comes with a physical version of Jiminy's Journal with stickers that a lot of stickers have been used, but you can place them on like these little spots right here that have, you can place them on with the correct stickers on these little spots right here to you know, say, hey, got this file. And then each version of this guide has its own unique artwork or cover art. Each of the different drive forms. So there's one for Valor form, Wisdom form, what's the other one? Master form, and then the one I got, which was Final form. So it has a little spot right here. I'll have to clean that up, but see if I can clean that up. But yeah, really nice guide. Unfortunately, this copy is missing some pages. Let's see if it's like missing in here somewhere, but you're gonna have to see if I can find said pages. They're like just kind of stuck somewhere or what, but yeah, and some pages are loose as well, so I'm gonna have to see if I can, you know, fix that, but if not a huge deal. I plan on getting every variant of this strategy guide, so, but yeah, full of information. It looks like a very useful guide, but I don't need this because I've 100% of this game, and then also some stuff on the inside right there, so I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I figured, you know what, why not start off strong with a Kingdom Hearts 2 Collector's Edition guide, so, or one of the 4 Collector's Edition guides, so, so yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, strategy guide. Okay, alright, let's get some boring stuff out of the way. Because I pre-ordered Nier Automata for the Switch through Square Enix store, I also got this shirt. It was available. That was a pre-order bonus, and I did translate the words on the bottom. It's in the Chaos language. It says Nier Automata T-shirt. So, and then also has logos on the back as well. So, really nice T-shirt. They only had them in larges, which is fine because I wear larges. So, and then this I got from Target. I got this Demon Slayer shirt. I have another Demon Slayer shirt. I just forgot to pull it out, but it's of the character Inosuke, who's my favorite character. So there's actually a couple Demon Slayer stuff I forgot to show you guys, but I also got this shirt from the Yeti. This is a Bloodborne shirt of the doll. Um, so Bloodborne is my favorite Soulsborne game. Platinumed it, got all the trophies for DLC. It's just such a fantastic game. So, um, and then here I'll show the other Demon Slayer stuff I got. I got this. I haven't put this together yet. But this is a model kit of Tanjiro. Um, I got this from Amazon. They shipped this in a bubble envelope. Or actually, no, it wasn't even in a bubble envelope. They just shipped this out in just no protection, no nothing, no good packaging whatsoever. It's just very loose, very baggy fucking packaging. What the fuck were you guys thinking? I don't get shipping. I don't get it. Because, like, coming from someone who works in fulfillment at Target, I'm shocked that a lot of these companies are just able to get away with shipping stuff like this with the worst shipping, with the worst packaging imaginable. Like, that shit would not fly at my job. Anyways, also got, oh, here's another Tanjiro figure. It's from a gacha machine. So, however, this was just like a loose one they sold at, or that was sold at a video game store. And I got this figure that I won at a Japanese crane machine at an arcade called Round One, which I found out has multiple locations around the U.S. So, but um, but yeah, it's an awesome arcade too. It has Japanese arcade games galore. And it has like the sit down machines like what they have in Japan. It's so cool. And then lastly for the Demon Slayer stuff, got this at a Renaissance Festival. This is not an actual sword, but it's not an actual like blade or anything. This is Tanjiro's sword from Demon Slayer. Like, yeah, you can see the hilt. So, and then a black blade. So, um, but yeah, it's $50. It's a wooden version of the sword, but for $50, I can't complain. So, yeah, I had to get that. Okay, so last few things I want to show. I guess I'll say the best one for last. Got Tron Legacy on vinyl. This is the soundtrack. Here, check this out. This one is a clear blue vinyl. And then this too is just a clear vinyl. So with like a marble design, so of some kind. So that's really cool. Now, I think in my previous game collection update video, I could be wrong on this one, but I did get the original Tron and Tron Legacy on Blu-ray. The original Tron, I did pass out watching it, but that's a really solid movie. But Tron Legacy is a god-awful movie. However, the soundtrack slaps. The soundtrack for Tron Legacy is very good. So I am nostalgic over the movie, but it's not that good. But the soundtrack slaps very much. I mean, it's Daft Punk. Like, what all do I need to say? So, alright, the next two are video game soundtracks. The very first video game soundtracks I got on vinyl. Starting off, I think this is the most recent one I got, the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game soundtrack. I got this off Amazon. Now this one I can pull it out. This one comes on a translucent orange vinyl, which is very cool. So, but yeah, this game, man, I love this game. I got the KO edition from Limited Run, and you know, I love the fuck out of this game, and to have the soundtrack on vinyl, you know, there's something so different about listening to music on vinyl compared to just listening to them off a CD. It's just something so different about it that I really like, and it makes me glad to be an owner of a vinyl record player. So, and lastly, this is a soundtrack for a game that I'm a huge fan of on the PS1. This is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. The soundtrack for Final Fantasy IX. Costed a fair bit of money, but this was so worth it. You know, I love Final Fantasy IX. It doesn't have the full soundtrack on it, but Final Fantasy IX, I love this game. Like, it's so open it up. And show the actual vinyls themselves. So disc 1 has, see if I can remember their names, Zidane, Vivi. Vivi's my favorite character in the game, Steiner, and Kina. And I don't remember what this location is, but there's an airship on the back of this one. And then on this one, you have, I only remember the alias she goes by, Dagger. I can't remember these characters outside of Aiko, I think her name is. I can't remember the names of the other characters, but yeah. So love Final Fantasy IX. Had to get this. It's, man, and this is just such a good soundtrack. Like the regular battle music, the final boss music with Kuja. Oh shit. There we go. The final boss theme with Kuja. And the title screen music. Fucking. I'm getting very nostalgic just thinking about it, but love this soundtrack. Very happy to have it on vinyl. And like I said, this costed a pretty penny, but it was so worth the asking price. So, and then also fairly recently, I pre-ordered the soundtrack for Bloodborne on vinyl. So, which again, Bloodborne, absolutely love that game. Very excited to get the vinyl on that. That one, I think that vinyl's out already in some places, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's just, I ordered it from Best Buy, and pre-order was the only option, and it's supposed to be getting it in January. So there you have it. That is Game Collection Update number 6, and yeah, expect this. This will be uploaded within the next day or two. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. I'm CoffinSkate signing off. Let me know in the comment section below what games you guys have picked up, and yeah, so y'all have a great rest of your day.